Hey everybody, it's D here with Delay Radio, the weekly funny, weird podcast of all things who knows what's going on, because I don't. And I'm here with the Jethro.
Hi there.
And also via internet, he's not in the room today, the Honch.
Hey there, hi there, ho there, buddy.
Yeah. He's pseudo-Canadian right now. He's in Canada as we speak.
Oh yeah, bud.
So on this week's episode of Delay Radio, we have cheeseburger assaults. I added the word assaults to that. We have questions from Reddit, a stolen penguin or penguins, maybe plural, I don't know. And we also have, if we get to it, I don't know what that says. Oh, fugitive selfies.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk about all those things.
You flip those around, too.
Oh, did I flip them around? Perfect.
Yeah. That's okay. I can cover either one and make it amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thug life.
Yeah. Yeah. So, to kick things off, this week, I know you guys are familiar with the Florida Man thing. We've talked about it in like a ton of episodes. And again, a Florida man has been accused of slapping his sleeping girlfriend, and with, I quote, a cheeseburger.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably one of the best ways to get woken up.
Yeah.
Like, wait.
Yeah.
Was she sleeping?
She was sleeping. I don't know if he was asleep. Could you slap somebody with a cheeseburger?
That would even be a better.
Why would you give that a shot?
Yeah, why would you have a cheeseburger in bed though?
Well, yeah. There's reasons. There's reasons.
Oh. So here's how it happened though. So
wait,
were
they slapped inside the mouth or outside the mouth? I
don't know.
Because I would love to be slapped inside the mouth with a cheeseburger.
Well, yeah, but I bet he hit her in the face. Oh, so this is where it gets. So this is where it gets extreme. So this was in Stuart, Florida, and it comes from CBS 12. The sheriff's deputy, because that's who the guy that was on site or whatever, said that the man Jones is his last name, bopped his girlfriend in the face with a cheeseburger while she slept. Once she woke up, she said he continued to hit her with the cheeseburger.
That is amazing.
Hey, now that you're awake, I'm just going to keep hitting you with this cheeseburger. He then pulled her hair and kicked her down the stairs. Now that's a bit extreme.
Yeah,
now we're talking.
Yeah, these cheeseburgers are soft. Like it would be
right.
Okay,
so I thought maybe it was playful, but no. I guess there was ill intent there.
Yeah,
right. I've heard of bringing food before, but usually not followed by getting thrown down some stairs.
Right. Yeah. Easily my top three foods to be slapped in the face with: cheeseburger, cake, and a loaf of bread.
Yeah, I was going to say a foot long from Subway.
Yeah. Is it cut or uncut?
Either way.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Jethro, so you like a good foot long to the face every now and again?
Yeah, he does.
Well, as long as
you can't bait me. I don't care how far away I am from you. You don't bait me.
And this is what. So when the sheriff deputies finally arrived, they found the girlfriend covered in food, and I quote, food particles. What did he do? Disintegrate the cheeseburger on her face?
Well, you hit her hard enough with it, and eventually it turns into casserole.
He's been charged with battery. Now, that would make sense if it was like a battery. You could be charged with battery if you hit somebody with a battery.
Well, I think it became battery when he threw it down the stairs. I think before that it was just assault. Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't get assault and battery,
Before that, it was just awesome.
Yeah. Before that, it was a good time, but then it
So Honch, top three foods that you would be willing to be slapped in the face with.
Oh, my God. Well, I can tell you right now that number one is well, you know what? Let's start. Number three, I'm going to go with omelet. Number two.
Number three is, what'd you say, omelet?
An omelet.
Three is an omelet, for sure. Like badass, like Western omelet. Lots of cheese.
Nice. Yeah.
Lots of cheese. And then
napalm cheese.
Number two is probably going to be a steak, like Uncle Rico style.
You want to get hit?
Then,
wait, what is Uncle Rico's style?
Dude, you've seen Napoleon Dynamite, right?
It's been a while.
Oh, is that where he throws the steak at him on the bike?
Yeah, remember he throws the steak from like 20 yards away and hits Dynamite in the face with it?
Now I remember, yeah.
Did you know that guy played Laszlo in Real Genius?
I didn't know that.
Fun fact, an 80's movie throwback to everybody.
Nice.
The movie Real Genius. He played Laszlo, the guy that lived in the basement that won all the prizes at the end.
We'll file that under Nobody Cares.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
And then number one, before I would have said number one would be steak.
Yeah.
But because I am where I am, and I am sitting next to the gross, the sex chair that they put in all the hotel rooms?
Yeah.
Right there. So I'm sitting next to that, and I actually have my dinner sitting on that chair.
That's a wise choice.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
It's a good idea, because that's exactly what I need is crotch crickets in my poutine.
Oh, the poutine.
Yes, so that is number one. You slap me in the mouth with some poutine, I'm your best friend forever.
Yeah. What if I just slap you in the face?
Done. I'll take it. Cover me in gravy and cheese curds. So for those who don't know, poutine is it's basically French fries, and it's covered in beef gravy and then cheese curds on top of that.
Oh yeah. I love
excruciating bathroom pains.
I love poutine.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's my favorite. Jethro, do you have the questions from the internet? Scour the deepest bowels of Reddit to bring you questions.
Yes. This is from a username Migrating Swallow.
Migrating Swallow. So they not an African swallow. That's my point.
Right. Yeah.
In the words of Monty Python.
And they ask, what is the cheapest thing / behavior you've done to save extra money?
Oh, I bought really, really cheap toilet paper.
Oh, like the 1-ply?
Oh, like the 1-ply.
It's like half a ply.
And it literally like you're pulling a number 2 and you're wiping and it just disintegrates. Like it gets swallowed up into your anus. Your anus. Yeah.
Hey, Guy, when you were using it, did you have a breakthrough?
No.
You discovered you didn't want to use it anymore?
I was completely engulfed. It turned into powder, and I immediately all I felt was my person. I could feel all of my. It felt like I was trying to dig myself out of a mud pit.
Oh my God! Wow. The old balloon knot, eh?
Yeah, it was awful. And I immediately went back to expensive toilet paper.
I can imagine it's probably only going to take about 3 or 4 fingers in the anus to turn my views on that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh shoot. What about you?
Oh, that's horrifying.
What about you, Jethro? Would you
the cheapest thing I've ever done. Actually, I probably should have thought about this before I asked the question.
Yeah. You talk about me being not prepared.
Well, see, I kind of had a busy week.
Hookers.
So, well, not hookers. You never go cheap on hookers.
Yeah. Well, unless you have to.
Anyways, that was a joke, not serious.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You always get your money back when you kill them in the end, right?
On Grand Theft Auto, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that?
I think the cheapest thing I've ever done is back in the day, I used to, instead of like buying a game, I would just like borrow it from my friend and then just stop being friends with them.
So you had to make a lot of friends for video games.
Yeah, well, everyone likes me, so
yeah. Everyone so like until you borrow, and ironically until you borrow video games.
Until you borrow, no. Well, no, I wouldn't stop being their friend. I would just borrow their game until they ask for it back, and you just, sometimes they just don't ask for it back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they forget.
Then you just graciously distance yourself from them until you don't care if they live or die.
I'm pretty sure, like, I actually have a copy of Metal Gear Solid, I think, somewhere. That was because I borrowed it from somebody and they forgot and I forgot. Yeah. I don't know. Honch?
Quote unquote friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so everybody knows that I travel for a living.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I currently do is my company is gracious enough to give us a per diem, which means they give us X amount of dollars a day to spend on food.
Yeah.
And if we go over, then we lose money. And if we go under, then we gain money. So one of the things that I travel with a giant cooler, a crock pot, and a George Foreman grill.
Do you really?
Nice. I swear to you, I do.
That's amazing. You're my instant hero. Like that.
Oh yeah.
You just took it to a whole different level.
Dude, there are some months where I'm gonna make my house payment.
You're like
on my per diem.
You're like 2 days away from like selling tacos out of the back of a Datsun pickup truck.
That's next. Don't think next time I come to Canada, I might drive a food truck up here and make some money while I'm here.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, right off my George Foreman grill. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Speaking of making money, if you steal money, you become a fugitive, right? And Honch, you have some what is it? A fugitive selfies? Somebody was taking selfies, like multiple people or just one?
Just one guy. So what it was this guy basically he gets himself into a little bit of trouble. The article says, "I look like James Brown on the run." So what happens is I'll just read the article. A man suspected of arson and vandalism sent a selfie to police in Ohio in the U.S. because he found the photo on his arrest warrant to be unflattering. Donald Chip Pugh texted police a photo of himself and wrote, "Here's a better photo. That one is terrible." He told the local radio station, "Man, they just did me wrong. They put a picture of me and made me look like I was a Thundercat or James Brown on the run. I can't do that." So the Lima Police Department responded by saying, "We thank you for being so helpful, but now we would appreciate it if you would come speak with us." He was later arrested.
That is amazing.
So this guy does something illegal. The police department, they released this photo of him, and it's a mugshot, right? It is what it is,
like a straight on, head on.
Yeah,
and he does kind of look like a Thundercat. If you guys look at the picture of him, I don't know if do you guys remember that show Thundercats?
Yeah, I do. The 80's cartoon thing.
Yeah, he kind of looks like the main one right there with the red hair.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. So this guy didn't like the photo, so he literally took his own selfie in the car and sent it to the police department and was like, "Hey, instead of that picture, why don't you use this one? This one's a little bit better. This one's a little bit more accurate.
Use a real picture."
Yeah, like seriously, who does that? I would. Someone who wants That's who does that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he basically it was just a bad picture, but he took one of himself, sent it into the police department, and now he's under arrest. Weird. Oh. Funny how that works.
That's hilarious.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and you can tell this was written by like a real news team, not like the American news. This was definitely written overseas somewhere.
Right.
Because it mentions Ohio in the U.S.
So,
right, yeah.
So next time that you get arrested and are a fugitive on the run, make sure that your local police department has a good picture of you that really represents.
That's right.
How you want people to see you in your light.
So speaking of police officers, I kind of have a story.
Oh, yes, you do.
So
you hinted at it, but you didn't tell me what it was.
Yeah. So I got my first speeding ticket the other day, which...
Nice.
Yeah, well done. Well done, Jethro. Yeah.
So I started... I just transferred into a new job, so I was heading to work. And it was kind of funny. So I'm driving to work, and I look down at my speedometer, and I'm going... 80 miles an hour in a 55.
Oh, yeah, that's a little bit over.
That's a little excessive. Yeah. And so, and then the thought occurred to me, oh, maybe I should slow down. So I take my foot off the accelerator. And then that's when I noticed the headlights come on in the median. Yep. And I had already been tagged.
Wow.
Oh, it was great, though. So he pulls me over. And so I'm thinking, well, technically he could just throw me in jail. So let's see what happens.
What are you going to do to get out of this ticket?
Yeah, no. And so he comes to the window and he goes, you have your driver's insurance and registration, whatever. I'm like, yep. Here, hand him all that stuff, and he goes,
driver's insurance. You mean your license?
Yeah.
Registration.
We just want to know if you're covered. We don't care who you are.
Well, license, registration, insurance, everything, all that stuff. Yeah. And then he goes, well, do you know how fast you're going? I go, well, when I looked at my speedometer, I was going 80. And he goes, yeah, I clocked you for 79. He goes, well, since you're being honest, I'll just write you for 5 over. I was like, oh, thanks. And the best part, though, is that I was driving my wife's car, so she gets the points.
Yes.
Wait, no. Doesn't it go on your license?
It goes on her insurance.
Wait, you and your wife have separate insurance?
Well, we have insurance for each vehicle.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was going to say, if you have insurance separate from your wife, you are my hero.
I thought it went to the driver. I thought it went to the...
Well, the points will be on my license.
Yeah.
But her insurance will go up because it was in her car.
Right. Well, that's if they see it or whatever. Yeah. I don't know how that works. If you're an insurance expert for... speeding tickets, send an email to delayradiocomedy@gmail.com. Help Jethro figure out this situation.
And then I'm going to go start a GoFundMe so people can pay for my wife's insurance.
Nice.
There we go. I'm only asking for $30,000. Yeah, that's amazing.
Oh, God. Nice. You are my hero, man.
I don't think I've ever gotten a speeding ticket.
That was my first one. My wife's had plenty.
Yeah. Well, there was one time where I got pulled over doing 110 on Airport Road, and and I told him, I was like, yeah, I was racing my girlfriend home, and he's like, oh yeah, kind of like sure, whatever. Well, it wasn't like 2 minutes later. Here she comes. Her car pulls up, she stops, and she doesn't really get out, and he goes, is that your girlfriend? And I went, yeah. And he's like, oh, so you're telling the truth? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, here's what I'm going to do. He gave me a failing to signal at a turn.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah. And the speed limit was 55, and he's like, yeah, I clocked you at 110. He goes, which is obviously way excessive, and he's like, that's why I pursued you quickly. And
wow.
Yeah, so I was going fast. I was going too fast.
See, that never happens to me. I never get out of tickets like that. I'm like, if I get pulled over, they're like, well, I clocked you at 60, but hold on to this bag of cocaine for me.
Right.
Get out of the car.
Get out. Why are you doing that?
He's got a gun.
Why are you doing that?
Stop reaching for your belt, sir.
Yeah.
Stop resisting.
He's reaching for my gun.
Yeah. Lo and behold, I would get shot for having a snack pack that I'm trying to I need some sugar right now. Right now. Yeah.
I have had to get my wallet out before with police, so I'll go to grab my wallet, and I hold my left hand out the window so they can see it, and I'm real slow with my right hand, and then I look at them while I do it, and I go, very slow, I'm just getting my wallet, I don't want any accidents.
Yeah.
And I haven't been shot yet, so apparently it works.
That's amazing. All right, boys. Well, I think that's actually what we have. That's all we got for this week's episode of Delay Radio. So we learned that cheeseburgers are probably a preferred food to get slapped in the face with. I think.
Yeah.
I think it's unanimous. I would prefer double patty cheeseburger if I'm going to be covered in food, and I quote, food particles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like cake.
Or cake, yeah. Don't buy cheap toilet paper, and don't buy and be careful borrowing video games from Jethro.
No, don't let Jethro borrow video games from you.
That guy's a jerk.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's the other way.
It's the other way.
I had that completely messed up. Well, if you do, you'll end up borrowing your game back.
Yeah, probably. There's a good
That
chance.
reminds me of a joke real quick. What do cars and wives have in common?
I don't know. I don't know.
What?
You never let your friends borrow them because you could throw a rod in either one at any given moment.
Zing, 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 zing. He's throwing rubber all over my brand new paint job. Yeah, and then if you are ever arrested or you're on the run from the police and you don't like your mugshot or whatever photo they use of you, be sure to send one in.
Yeah, and just send
for
your
the
own.
fine folks in blue to share, and just so they can look at you in the right light, if you will. All right.
Perfect.
Be sure to listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, Player FM, anywhere where you listen to your podcast. Be sure to review us. Send us a message to delayradiocomedy@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook. And until next Friday, this has been Delay Radio.